Hello guys, welcome to this guide on how to climb with Shi Oh Yu. First off, let's look at why you would want to play this comp right now. The comp has a very strong early and mid game, allowing you to consistently top 4 in a lot of lobbies. With the recent B patch, almost every other comp just got nerfed, indirectly making this comp a lot stronger in the meta. And meanwhile, Annivia, who you often do carry in this comp, just got a big buff to her damage. And lastly, the comp comes with very easy itemization and easy positioning. This comp utilizes Shi Oh Yu as a tanky frontline carry, who holds the fort while your backline gets a lot of time to deal damage. The healing and attack speed from Jade, combined with the scaling from Rageblade and Titans, allows Shi Oh Yu to ramp up and ultimately win fights all on his own. Now if you hear from my Xayah guide, it's really good to know both of these comps since they share a lot of openers and have a lot of items and units in common, making it very easy to flex between these two comps. Shi Oh Yu's core items are Titans and Bloodthirster. The best third item is Rageblade, but he also works well with Edge of Night, Giant Slayer or Hand of Justice. On first carousel, you want to go for Bow, that builds into Titans, Rageblade and Giant Slayer. You can also go for Belt or Chain, that builds into Sunfire, which is still an amazing item early game. Oh, and the Chain also goes into Titans. You can also go for Sword, which builds into Bloodthirster, Edge of Night and Giant Slayer. Early game, you want to play around these core units. At level 5 we can play Ezreal for Swift Shot, and at level 6 we can play Leona to get Guardian and a little bit more frontline. Stack your carry items on set. These items go in Shi Oh Yu later, and you also want to give him the Dragonmancer buff. If your set is only 1 star, you can easily replace him with Leesin, but if your set is upgraded, you need to hit Leesin 2 before it's worth to do the swap. This also gives our team Tempest. At level 7 you want to start rolling and try to hit Shi Oh Yu. Once you hit Shi Oh Yu, you want to sack Leona and play it instead. Now we have 6 Jade, which makes the buff from Jade stronger and gives us another statue so we can do some proper positioning. From here, you want to look for a replacement Leesin so we can swap the items to Shi Oh Yu. If you hit an Eco, you definitely want to play her over Taric, much better unit, and you want to put your tanky items on her. Now we have a very solid mid game board and we should easily be able to make it into the late game. Now instead of playing Dragonmancer and Twin Shot, we can do a different version of this mid game board. In this version, we play Annivia as a secondary carry, together with Nor giving us Shapeshifter, and Lulu and Nami giving us Mystic and Evoker. Annivia's core items are Shojin, plus an AP damage item. I really like Archangels here, it allows Annivia to scale a lot while your frontline keeps the enemy at bay. If there is not a whole lot of magic damage in your lobby, you can sack the Mystics and play Shapeshifters instead. These are much better into an AD heavy lobby. At level 8 we can then put in Lulu again, giving us both Evoker and Mystic. Now if you hit a couple of AD items, you can also carry Xayah into this comp very easily. Let's swap out Lulu, Nar and Elise. And then we put in Ashe and Xayah, giving us 6 Jade and Swift Shot. Xayah's core items are Rageblade and Giant Slayer. We're still missing 1 unit here, so we put in Set, giving us both Dragonmancer and Ragewing. Lot of synergy value for playing this 1 unit. You only want to play Xayah if you hit 80 items, but if you don't, it's still perfectly viable to play Leesin plus Ezreal. Leesin is especially good with a healing item and some tanky items. And then late game, we can swap the Leesin for a stronger unit. Yasuo is a perfect match here. He uses the same items and we get to keep the Dragonmancer. The Ezreal doesn't really do a whole lot for our team here, so I like to swap him out for Lulu at this point, giving us Mystic and Evoker again. And then at level 9, we can play a Bard to get 3 Mystic and a lot of CC. If you get a Jade emblem, we can easily fit in 9 Jade from here. We just sack Bard and Lulu, and instead we play Soraka and Taric. Now we have 9 Jade, making the Jade buff a lot stronger. We also get an extra statue, so now we can split up our backline. This can be very good into area CCs and AoE damage. Instead of the Taric, we can play Karma here, giving us 4 Dragonmancer, which means that we can swap out the Swain for a stronger unit. I think Bard is really good here. The Mystic is good and the CC is amazing. The leveling for this comp uses the standard 4-cost carry leveling curve. You want to pre-level to 4 on 1-4 if you're sitting on a lot of 2-cost pairs, else you level to 4 on 2-1. Next you need to decide if you want to pre-level to 5 into the carousel. You do this if you're win streaking and still sitting on a lot of 2-cost or maybe even 3-cost pairs, else you level to 5 on 2-5. Try to hit 20 gold into Crux, that's good econ, and then on 3-2 we level to 6 and roll for a bit of upgrades. As a rule of thumb, you don't want to roll below 20 to keep some econ. Solid econ and a good leveling curve is super essential to winning games. If you learn how to do this, you're gonna climb so much more consistently. Now for the late game, on 4-1 we always level to 7 and roll for our core units. Again, try not to spend all your gold, you still want some gold left to Econ so you can hit level 8. If you didn't have to roll a lot for your board and you hit a lot of upgrades on 4-1, you can level 8 on 4-5. If you had to roll a lot and you're not super rich, you can do it on 5-1. Now bear in mind that the intervals after Treasure Dragon changed a bit with the recent update. Now you don't get experience and gold on Treasure Dragon, so the curve looks like this now. If you are mega high rolled, you can go fast 9 on 5-3. Normally you do it on 6-1, 6-3 or 6-6. Lastly, let's take a look at what augments are good into Shi Oh Yu. Any combat augment that makes your board stronger is what you want to go for. Celestial Blessing can provide some decent extra healing and shields, and CB 2 and 3 can allow you to sub out the Bloodthirster and Shi Oh Yu for another damage item. HP is great since it scales with healing from Jade, so all the cybernetic augments are great choices. First Aid Kit increases the healing you get from Jade and from BT. And meanwhile Weak Spot and Sunfire board can provide some much needed anti-heal, because with this comp the fights go on for a while. This is also why Ascension is still a great choice, even at tier 2. Jade Heart is good at tier 1, but the Jade emblem at tier 2 and 3 are not really worth it. You sacrifice too much power to get it, and the tier 1 basically does the same. Meanwhile, these other two Jade specific augments are completely fake. My recommendation is just skip these on site. They're still way undertuned. Second Wind can provide some great healing for this frontline focused comp. Portable and Living Forge are great. The best items for Shi Oh Yu are Death's Defiance and Triforce, but any of the tank items are great on Leesin. And Verdant Veil is also really great into a comp that focuses on frontline carriers, since your frontline is gonna get CC'd a lot. This one can really unleash the full potential of your Shi Oh Yu. And that is the video for now, guys. Remember to like and sub if you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.